Hey y'all, welcome to the Fishing Family Network. You're watching LKM Coast to Coast. You thought last week was crazy. This week is even crazier. We got Steve Donis on the show. He's the B.A.S.S. illustrator.
We got it, Steve. We got it.
We got it together. What's going on?
What's going on? My goodness. It has been
Oh, man.
a whirlwind of technical difficulties tonight, but we got it and we figured out what the feedback was in the microphones, and it wasn't Steve's fault. It was Lizard King's fault. The whole thing was Lizard King's fault.
Don't say that.
Oh, we have to place blame. There has to be blame somewhere. So we definitely wanted to place the blame. But thank you, Steve, for being so patient with us.
Really appreciate it.
Let's like this before, but we appreciate you sticking with us and getting through that horrible first half.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Fishing Family Network. You are watching LKM Coast to Coast. My name is Lizard King. I'm your host on the West Coast, and I'm throwing it back to the East Coast.
And I'm over here on the East Coast. My name is Monster, and we are happy to have you here tonight. Thank you all the folks in the chat room that were so patient with us over the past 25, 30, 40, 50 minutes. All right, but we finally got it together, and we have Steve Donis in the house tonight. He's our guest tonight, and Steve, thank you again for being here with us. There's so many people in the fishing family community on Twitter, and throughout all of the medias that are just so impressed with your talents. We see you in there, you engage with everybody, and we really appreciate it. And we're just happy to have you here tonight. But a lot of people want to know who Steve Donis is. You know, we see all the great pictures and we engage with you online, but now we get you here in front of everybody, and we're just excited to have you, and we want to see exactly who Steve Donis is. So I guess the first question that we're going to start you off with is, when did you start fishing?
Well, I started fishing when I was like 12, 13 years old. But the truth is that I didn't fish before. I had my cousins and a couple of friends that would ask me to go fishing, and I always say no. And I used to think it was boring, folks. Don't get mad at me, but I used to say, oh yeah, going there, because I always thought it was, putting the worm on the hook, going out there and waiting for the bobber to go down, all that stuff. And no, when I saw the competition, I saw what it entails and the strategy behind it, the technique.
Yep.
That's it. I was in,
right.
I started from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who are some of your big influencers? You've got dads, uncles, sometimes neighbors.
I got, my cousins really, I had one that was really into it. And I had one that actually lives in Guatemala. He does the sea fishing, in the ocean. So, that's very impressive. So, but if you're asking me who my influences are up here, I mean, on TV and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Mike Iaconelli. Mike Iaconelli. He's the, believe it or not, folks, he's the guy I used to imitate the guy. I used to go to the lake, catch a fish, and then do all that. Yelling and the screaming and all that stuff, and pretend I was Iaconelli. And then, and then I got to meet the guy. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He makes it exciting. I mean, he's bringing the sport to life. And
put
absolutely.
It on the map for me. Yeah.
No, definitely. No, have you had a chance? Oh, sorry. Go right ahead.
Hopefully one day we'll get Mike on our show. I'd love to. I've been following Mike Iaconelli since the birth of his YouTube. It's quite interesting. If y'all want to have a hoot, go years back into Iaconelli's YouTube and watch his YouTube from the beginning of Mike Iaconelli to the man he is today. I contacted Rebecca and just waiting on a call back from those folks. He's pretty famous and we're pretty nobodies, but maybe one day we'll have Ike on the show. That would be awesome.
That day will be because Mike Iaconelli is a very down to earth guy. He doesn't look at anybody for being, where you're at or what you think, where you think you're at. He's just a guy. I mean, that you talk to, just that's what makes him who he is, his charisma and his his genuineness, and he's a classy guy.
Absolutely. He engages with the fishing family, the community that we're with. You know, he's active in the streams and in the threads. It's impressive. You know, those guys.
Him and his whole family. You know,
Yeah.
Becky, there's another one. You know, she just takes you in. You know, she just embraces everybody. So, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I talked to her through the Ike Live show DM. She's quite a nice person. Great person.
Yeah,
that whole crew. You know, Brian the Carpenter.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Eric, the intern. All those guys are awesome.
They seem like they're fun guys. You know, like everyday fun guys. They're out there and
what
they're
you
just having a
see
good
on
time.
there, what you see on the show. That's
Is
what
that
you get.
them?
That's who they are. Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second before we get off this topic. You were recently on Ike Live a few weeks ago, right? What's that like? What was that like?
Classic. Well, just like what you see on there. I mean, those guys are. Let's see what that is. Those guys are. That's just who they are. I mean, like I said, they don't pretend to anything. I mean, Brian the Carpenter will just come up to you, and if he has something to say, he'll just say it right to your face. I mean, that's just how he is. He's a no bullshit type of guy. That's the way he is. It's awesome. They'll tell you exactly what they'll joke around with you on the show, and they'll tell you whatever they need to tell you on the show. They're just who they are.
Absolutely,
it's a great time.
Sounds like it. Absolutely.
What about the antics on the show? There's an awful lot of antics on the show. I can only imagine what it's like actually being on the show, because those antics must be amplified in real life.
Oh. The show is eternal. Like, even if when they're off the air, it keeps going. I mean, they're just they're nutty. You know, but it's just natural. I mean, that's just who they are.
Well, we're familiar with Nutty Steve. If you've watched any of our episodes,
I know, right?
Starting out with the beginning of the show. Hello.
We're sorry, everybody. We were trying to perfect something that is going to be our new iteration. Anyhow. What you drinking, Monster? Because I'm already a drink in now after that whole thing.
I'm actually just drinking soda. I try to be a good boy on live television or whatever, this podcast.
Well, me too. We're always good boys.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Reeling it in is tough sometimes, but we got it. But
what are you drinking, Steve?
Coffee.
See? Me too.
Stay awake. Yeah.
Me too. I've been hip. This portion of the show, folks, is brought to you by Big Guy Outdoors Croatian milk lattes. They are delicious.
Croatian. Wow, that's catching on. We were just talking about that with a guy yesterday.
Yeah. Big Guy. We're gonna have to send you one of Big Guy's shirts. This guy has the softest shirts in the world, and his shirts are made with these the hair from Croatian goats, and they bring them down from Croatia and down to was it Egypt? Egypt. Wow. And then they're hand woven by Egyptian gnomes. Gnomes. Egyptian gnomes. Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's something you could put in your comic book.
You're giving me an idea right there. Some guy wearing a
well, let's hop over the chat room here real quick and get that out of the way. There are, as you know, Steve, a ton of Steve Donis fans in the fishing family.
Thank you.
And I'm sure once you got started to get to hook it up with us, that your inbox is quite busier than it used to be. So let's say hello to a bunch of people. We're going to start from the top. By the way, everybody, we're going to be giving away a ton of Steve Donis products here this evening. Awesome posters. We're going to talk about his posters this evening. We're going to show some of those posters. We're going to give some of those away. Also, I'm wearing this evening.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, this is a stay tuned.
My logo's right on his breast assist. There you go. Look at that.
Like a little girl.
There you go. Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
So this is a stay tuned. This is a Steve Donis original T-shirt, and we're also going to be giving one of those away tonight. Also, along with other Steve Donis stuff. Plus, we got a ton of other stuff: Cowboy Coffee Chew, Crankin' Customs, Marty's Lures, Next Gen
Lures.
Baits.
Yep, I got Jack's.
Two Spice Guys. We got Two Spice Guys. Everybody knows Two Spice Guys, which is Far Out Foods. Look forward to some awesome stuff coming from that too. So let's say hi to two little people. Let's say hi to some of the people in the chat room, and we are going to get to the early bird giveaway. What do you want to do for the early bird giveaway, Monster?
Ooh, you know what? Early birds get the worm, but this time they're going to get the Jack's lure. All right, a custom jig.
All right, that's a Jack's Jigs up for sale. Let's go talk to some people in the chat room here real quick, and then we'll give that away. Marcus Schwarm is in the chat room. Adam Hermanson, but he likes to be called the Herminator, so I'm going to call him the Herminator's in the house. We got Pond Predator, Eddie, Ed Silo is here. We got John Klopp as usual, and Jeff over there, Pond Predator, right?
Yes.
Who else we have in here? I think we lost about 3 people when we turned over. We really appreciate everybody coming back. We've got Small Town Shorty, Lizard Queen's in the house. My wife, Heather Castro.
Sweet.
Let's see. Oh, my Uncle Pete's in the house.
Hey, Uncle Pete.
Hey.
By the way, Steve, my Uncle Pete, he's a pro bass fisherman up in Wisconsin. He's a huge Steve Donis fan, by the way.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I showed Uncle Pete.
Yeah, huge Steve Donis fan.
Big guy in the house. Big Guy Outdoors is here. What's going on, big guy?
What's going on, big guy?
Big guy.
We got Jen Prickett's back in the house. Thank you, Jen, for coming on over here.
Jennifer, how are you?
We got Lee Sappington. He's in the house. All right. We got a whole bunch of people.
We got Art's here. Two Spice Guys is here.
Absolutely.
Goodness gracious, this goes on and on. Madness. Oh, we got Snagger. Snagger's in the house. Little Rancher's here. Stripes is in the house. Hey, Stripes. Little Rancher. Nuke. Oh, Nuke. The Nuke's up. I hope you liked your video, Nuke. That was one of our first productions.
The sizzle trailer for Nuke is dialed in. Dialed in.
That was LKM Productions produced that one.
That's right.
Sizzle trailer. Dialed in. If you haven't seen it, go check out Dialed In. That's coming this summer. MJ's in the house.
MJ. We're going to have MJ
Michael John Fishing
the show because we're going to get him over here so we can talk a little bit about the raffle that's going on in the charity drive that we're going to be doing for Folds of Honor. And we're excited about that one. Yep.
Huge.
So everybody in the chat room, if you haven't had a chance yet to get over to MJ's page, he has a link to the Ellen DeGeneres show. And we're trying to drive enough interest to the charity into MJ's drive by going ahead and following that link and putting in a little essay. If you need help with the essay, I have one already generated. I can copy and paste it, and you can just put it in there for it. But
how cool would it be to give that boat away for Folds of Honor on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and maybe she'll even pull that boat up in the studio.
That's what
we'll give that thing away live for a group that helps veterans that get killed overseas. That's one of the biggest things. Steve Gammon's in the house. Huntress Monster. What's up, Virginia? How are you? She's in the house. Barbara Harris. Hey, Barbara. Thanks for coming to watch the show. Tons of Steve Donis fans here. One Cast, One Fish is back. What's up? Jack Van Fleet is in the house. Oh my goodness, this goes on and on and on and on and on. Right. Oh, Shelby's here. So let's get to the show, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's a little bit late and it's not really early bird because we had so much technical difficulties earlier, but let's give the early bird special gift away, which is this right here, the Jack's Jig. All right, Jack's Lures. Jack made that. It is beautiful.
That colorful.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. He's a craftsman like no other, I tell you. The guy's great. So if we could, Steve, if you got a pen and piece of paper handy, if you want to pick a number between 1 and 30, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the chat room, and we will figure it out.
All we need to do is see that number, Steve, and we can figure out the person who has won the early bird.
All right.
Just show us that number whenever you're ready.
Now?
Yes. Yep.
We're ready.
A little bit. You're probably in an iPad, huh? The camera's off to the side.
There we go. Just this guy's good.
22.
22. So we're starting.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. John Klopp.
John Klopp.
John Klopp.
I got
Number
it.
22, the 22nd comment in our comments. You win the early bird.
This is
And
what
that's
you're
a
getting right here.
Jack's Lures. That's a Jack's jig.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations, John. Go ahead and John has us on Twitter. John's a big
Yep,
big
I actually
on
got his
Twitter.
address. We've sent him out a couple
Perfect.
things already. All
Awesome. We're gonna send that out to you, John.
right? Absolutely.
Damn, that's okay. I already have his address.
I got it.
You wouldn't believe what we send out all the time now, Steve.
It's fun. It's fun. I love giving stuff away, especially from all the great artists that we have in the fishing community. You know, the fishing family community online.
There's some guys on there that I see their stuff that they do, and you know, it's
Unbelievable, isn't it?
art's incredible. There's so many different ways to express, you know, creativity, and I've seen some of the things in the fishing family. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got everything from hand carved lures to crankbaits, jigs, you name it.
Custom
We've got people that make jewelry. Yeah.
Jewelry.
Art Belden. A lot of the people hook up with their kids sometimes at least once a year. They want to make a little extra money for Christmas presents for their parents or something. I remember Eddie Macy from Eddie Silo's daughter. She made those keychains. I bought a bunch of those keychains. They're buck nuts. What's a buck nut? Buckhorn. Buckeye. They're Buckeyes. They're sorry. Buck nuts.
Yeah. You see what we deal with here, Steve?
Yeah.
Buck
Fuck nut.
Buck nuts.
He's always thinking of that.
I don't think you have to bleep that. Buck nuts. See? They're not going to take us down.
Enough of that one.
Off the air.
Hey.
So, Steve,
go ahead.
I was just going to ask him, when did you get into art?
Oh man, that since I was tiny. I mean, I was saying the other day, I was telling somebody about in kindergarten. That's when the first time that I can recall somebody actually looking at my drawing and putting it. You know, they said they really liked it and they put it up on a wall. And my dad showed up and the teacher was actually explaining to him, you know, oh, he drew a belt on him and you know and things like that. Yeah. So since I can't even remember, but I always drew since.
Has it always been a passion of yours? Like, have you always just wanted to draw?
You know what, though? The thing is, I always just drew. And that's why, you know, I can understand and believe me, folks, I'm not trying. If it sounds arrogant, I'm sorry. I'm not making it sound arrogant. It's just I don't know when I actually picked up on drawing and like made it a passion or anything. I just always drew.
Yeah.
Always able to
Were you one of those kids that drew on their folder? I remember being in school and there'd be guys that'd be like drawing dinosaurs and Dungeons and Dragons was kind of up and coming, things like that. So they would be doing Dungeons and Dragons, Dragsters. And I would always be kind of envious because I couldn't. I mean, these kids were drawing stuff. And I've seen my daughter is into art, Steve.
Oh,
she actually goes to a performing arts school here in Southern California, and she does. It's amazing to know her and to have seen her iterations and her flavors over time. Remembering kids that drew at that level and to see her progress is an amazing thing. So, were you one of those kids that drew on their folders?
I was. Drew on my folder. I drew on my books. I drew everywhere. I just I drew. You know, and later in school. They asked me to draw the teachers, you know, so I would start doing that. They asked me to draw the teacher, do like caricatures of the teachers and stuff like that. So yeah, always. And if your daughter's involved in that, keep her at it. You know,
we do
creativity.
We're very, very involved with that. She also, surprisingly, she's she turned 16 in December. This December she turned 16.
Yeah. My
Excuse me. Your daughter is?
Yeah, she's about to turn 15.
Oh,
So she actually has her own band. She's had a band for like the last 2 or 3 years, and they are quite incredible. She's also very big into the visual arts and also digital arts. So we've always from a pretty young age, she's always had upgraded iMacs and things like that with the advanced drawing tablets and stuff like that. It ain't cheap, but I'll tell you, I'm willing to do anything for a kid that shows their passion in something.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I always bought her the cheapest when she said, "Hey, Dad, I want to do this." Well, I buy her a cheap one, and I say, "Well, show me what you got." You know what I mean? And then some things she didn't continue with, and then some things she did. And so as she continued with things that she really loved, I reinvested into the better and better products, and it's pretty incredible. She does some pretty incredible paintings. When my mom died, she did a portrait of my mom for my for her granddad, my dad.
Right.
And it hangs in my dad's living room. She's pretty incredible. It's you know, I'm really big on having her in the outdoors. And she's not so much into the outdoors as I would love her to be, but I'm not going to pressure her to be that. This is also a great outlet.
Right.
And so I really, you kind of hold a special place in my heart because I've seen that, you know, that incredible progression. So art is very big in our lives too here.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. All right, good. Wow. Yeah. No, guys. And if you, if I can say this about, I have a daughter with her name is Maya Donis, and she is, she has cerebral palsy.
mm-hmm.
And when you were talking about your daughter and that and everything, art is within. So it doesn't even matter if, you know, because she'll take a marker or a pen or whatever, and she'll do the best that she can when she's putting it down to the canvas, and she still comes up with, I'll you know, when I don't have it at hand right now, but someday I'll show you some of the stuff she's done. She comes up with some stuff that you'll see it on there, and it makes a picture, it makes a theme, it makes a statement.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just so art is from within, and what you're saying about your daughter and everything, yeah, keep going, because creativity is something that no one can take away from you, and that you know, you're always adding to the world, the way I see it, by showing your creative side.
For sure. Does your daughter fish at all?
She's we've gone fishing, and you know, we'll throw it in there for her, and then she'll you know, they like going, they like fishing. I got 3 daughters. From the eldest all the way down to they all like to draw, and you know, and
that's cool.
Oh, sure.
We have a ton of challenged anglers here in the fishing family, and we're not we don't as everybody knows, we've got musical artists, we have jeepers, we have country, you know, everyone is welcome here. It doesn't matter your race, religion, creed, political affiliation, it doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome here in the fishing family, and there are no judgments here in the fishing family.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. And the fish don't judge either, which is a good thing.
Heck no, they don't.
And that's the name of the game right there. That's the name of the game. But
just want to mention that the Just Be You campaign. Are you familiar with Kenzie? Mike Donis? Or Mike Donis?
No.
Steve Donis. Mike Burnside's daughter.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now
I don't have my biggest thing is I'm gonna have a foundation for challenged anglers across this country to get them in the outdoors. Big guy decided to start a Just Be You campaign. You can go on biggguyoutdoors.com and buy Just Be You shirt. I actually have one here. I'm sorry I ain't gonna grab it right now, Big Guy, but
yes,
it's going to a charity for Mike Burnside. So we're very big on trying to keep our I hate to even use word challenged, but always trying to keep our challenged anglers involved, and people like Kenzie who have more opportunity because their dad is a big outdoors person. This is the type of thing where I need ambassadors like that to help bring those inner city kids who don't have as much of an opportunity to see the great outdoors and bring them. There are still places for people to fish in cities, and they should not not be cooped up in an apartment or inside all the time either.
Yeah.
Because time and time again, I watch these videos where you take these kids out in the great outdoors, and there's an awakening there.
Yes, it's a huge
Something
change
happens
for them, and it's another world. I mean, you're breathing the fresh air. You're out there, or that even the sound. Don't you guys, when you guys go out fishing, the sound of the bass just flying, water and everything, right? Right. It just brings
Don't get me started.
A different atmosphere to your life. Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that.
Nice. We're gonna get to Steve Donison's awesome. I mean, you can see just to the right there of Monster. Steve Donis did that one. Yeah,
Sure did. He sure did.
Yeah, you can't see mine up
Oh,
there.
look at that one right there.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that one.
Huh?
That's when you had the handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back, folks. That one will be coming back at some point in time.
Lady.
I want to. I want to talk about something that people don't, and we've talked about this on DMs before. I had wanted to start a comic book, and it's in one of my 110 projects to do, and I work on it periodically, and I haven't brought it to you yet, but you are going to be my illustrator for sure. Let's talk a little bit because this is something that's lesser known about you, and that is you have an ongoing comic.
Yeah. It's called Hooked.
Yes.
Here, actually, if you guys see, this is part of it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
From it. It's a comic that I created. Actually, if you want to know the real whole story behind it, was a comic that I can't name the company now anymore, but the company actually asked me to do one with. It was going to be with Mike Iaconelli, and
wow.
Yeah, and then but things fell through. Ended up falling through with the company. So I ended up just doing it as a project.
I love it.
Yep. And it just all came from just thinking about it, writing. I was writing and drawing it at the same time, but it's, as you guys know, it takes a long time to write a comic, and it takes a long time to draw it.
Right.
So
Right.
I got
Tell me about it
in there, but it will keep going. I've had actually some people asking for for it to keep going. So
absolutely.
Are you ever going to publish that in a hard form?
Well, that's the thing, is at one point they were going to publish it, and then they got to the point where I started deriving and going off in other projects, with the B.A.S.S and stuff like that. So it's kind of like put on hold for right now.
Because I see that in digital form on your .com.
Yeah.
What is your .com so people can go and check that out?
Right now it's istaytuned.com.
Awesome.
I'm going to put that in the chat room for you.
Yeah, there's some work that's being done to it right now, and that's why it's you'll see like a little thing there. It says work being done to it and everything. I'm uploading like a bunch of stuff on there right now, and but it'll be right up in no time. istaytuned.com.
istaytuned.com, folks.
With 2 O's instead of the U. 2 O's, folks. Tuned.
My comic is called The Angler, and it's currently in its 3rd rewrite. For various reasons, but we'll get into those.
Okay.
But,
well, you let me know. You heard it here on the air, folks. You let me know, Lizard.
But Steve and I have been talking about it for about 7 or 8 months now. It was funny when you're like, don't tell me you want to do something and then not get back to me, because that's the worst thing you can do for me. And I just want to let you know, Steve, that I haven't let that go. It's just we generally, Monster and I generally run about 20 to 25 projects at once.
Yeah.
Finally, some of the stuff from about 8 months ago is finally starting to come to fruition, and so
that's how it works. And if you guys got something going, the only thing I can tell you is don't. Yeah, like how Iaconelli says, right? Never give up. Don't give up. Don't get it. Comes around. It comes around. Hurdles here and there, but you will get there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
we don't let stuff go.
No, we don't. We should let a lot of stuff go, but we don't. Like, oh god. But no, it's everything's coming to fruition. It's just things take time,
Yeah.
Timelines always get pushed back and whatnot, but yeah, it's all coming together.
Good things
especially
take a
when you
while.
yes, yeah, especially the real world stuff. You know, when you do a little stuff here or there, a little social media stuff on Twitter, yeah, you can bang it out in 30 seconds, 5 minutes, half an hour. But when it talks about these big projects that are actually going to leak into the real world, some of this stuff can take 6 months, a year.
Yeah,
You
it'll be
know,
longer.
yeah,
Yeah, some of it.
Absolutely, that's true. That's
But-
true.
yeah.
Now, have you had a chance to meet all of the people that you've drawn?
The vast majority I have. The only guy that I haven't met yet that I'd like to meet, to actually have a conversation with is the G-Man.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I just sent that one to Gumpa.
yeah,
That's Gumpa's a big fan of
Oh, yeah?
Gerald.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
bought that one for you for his rod room.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Everybody else that that I've drawn and that I've always wanted to meet, I've met and spent time with them, which is very cool and very. I
Absolutely.
guess I'm blessed in that sense. Yeah, they're very cool people. All of
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah.
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 Now, what got you into the professional angling realm? Like, how did that happen? I know you can draw, but what made
Yeah.
you think,
It all happened one day, folks. When my
Here we
it
go.
was Mike Iaconelli. I was a big fan, and I always watch everything. Like Lizard was saying, I followed him wherever he'd show up. I was always following him, and I had no idea that his show was actually coming out at the same time, the Ike Live show.
Oh yeah, right.
So I had no idea that it was like new and everything. But my wife is actually the one to blame. She told me to draw a picture of Iaconelli. She said, "Why don't you draw him one of your pictures or whatever and send it to him?" And I kid you not, I drew it like on a piece of paper about that size, all wrinkled up, and I drew it and I just sent it to him.
Yeah.
On through social media,
Okay.
and he saw it and he really liked it, and the whole reason that I'm doing this, and I'm going to say it right now on your show, so you guys see that the whole reason that I'm doing this, and I hope everybody gets this, is because of Mike Iaconelli. Mike Iaconelli gave me the chance. He gave me the opportunity to be on the air. The guys at Ike Live took me in like I was one of their crew. I mean, that is something that I never forgotten and I never will forget.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart. So
That's
Loyalty.
awesome.
We always talk about
Yes.
loyalty.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you need to have that.
And that just says a lot about their character as well. That's something special there. They took you in not knowing who you were when you first started out,
Like
and
I tell
they
you, these
gave
guys,
you the shot.
if they don't like you, they'll tell you.
Yeah,
But if they like you, you're in with them.
that's awesome.
You're like one of their one of their brothers or buddies and stuff, and they're really genuine guys.
That's awesome.
But anyways, my wife is the one who told me to send the picture. I sent it to him. He went, he liked it a lot, and you know how Mike Iaconelli is. He's an expert when he's on
yeah.
Yeah.
So and that led, God is the other thing, guys. I'm sorry to bring God, but God is the.
Why would you be sorry about bringing God
I know
into
some
it?
people get offended nowadays, so I'm not.
You're right.
I don't.
Not here though. Not here.
I don't get offended about anybody's God. Believe what you
Yeah.
want, and that's a big G. Big G.
Yes, the big G. Yeah, my daughter's just gonna listen to you right now. I always say the big G. The big G.
Yep.
He's he made all this happen. I mean, after my wife told me to send that picture, and I sent it in, and everything took off. And then one thing led to another, and then lo and behold, one day they asked me, the Brian Brasher from B.A.S.S. He told me they wanted to talk to me. I went to talk to him, and boom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then now I pay her mortgage.
Right.
Oh, Lizard, no.
Look at this stack. Look at this stack, folks.
You know what? And just to clear that up, guys, you know what happens is that everything goes on a schedule. And I know, and to my clients out there, please try to understand that when you put everything on a schedule, one little thing goes off and everything flies off schedule. And that's why sometimes I have taken a little bit longer sometimes because things fly off the hand, So here's what I do. I pencil stuff in, right? And then I tell them, I'm going to show it to you. And then you tell me if I should go ahead with it or whatever. And most of the time, thank God, they'll look at it and I'm penciling something in. And they'll be like, "Good, man, that's awesome. Go for it."
Yeah.
And then I've gotten a couple of calls with that. Can you change?
Really?
And
I
then
think
you sit there, you go, "Are you kidding me?" You know.
Yeah.
I think every call you've gotten from us was you have pulled full carte blanche because I want to see.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to see what's in the mind's eye of the artist. I don't want to control the art.
Well,
Right.
thank you very much. See, there's another thing, Lizard. There's another thing. Is I'm getting all this out there now, huh?
Get it off your chest. Don't
Now
worry
that I
about
got the opportunity. No, here's the other thing is like sometimes people want you to draw what's actually already there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And if
Yeah.
you're an illustrator, you're basically trying to take somebody's idea, like like Lizard will give me like like you guys give me the format. Here's we're looking for this, Steve. Whatever. And then the imagination starts flowing, and that's what you put on the canvas. What's flowing through you. You put that on the canvas, and then I like to see it when the two minds work together. You guys are giving me a platform. I'm working with you, and then the final product is something that came out from all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of sometimes they just want, well, can you please just draw this? And I want it to look exact. And it's basically like you take a picture then.
Yeah.
But you really can't say that, right?
Yeah. Do it in Photoshop. We'll cut and paste some stuff together for you.
Yeah, right.
Oh goodness.
No, I truly, you've done, I think, 2 for us, right, Monster?
2 so far with one in
2
the
so far. We
one in
got
the
some in
queue.
the hopper. We got some in the hopper,
mix,
but
folks. We got some in the mix there.
and there's about 4, I think, backlogged. So
yeah, we got a couple more ideas here we're gonna bring to you. We'll get in the queue soon.
All right.
But
all right.
Again, paying his mortgage, folks. Paying his mortgage.
Oh,
But
Lizard.
all right.
But it's the artistry. Man,
that's what it's all about. Absolutely.
dude, your artistry. I can't. It might be a good time to show a couple at least of these.
Yeah. Let's give one away. I mean, it's already getting
You wanna
late.
give one away?
Yes, let's give
Well,
one
let's
away.
just show a couple just to wet people's whistle. It is
A little-
time to give a
little-
Adonis poster away.
Oh,
Look
let
at
me
that.
put it up. Oh yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yep. I like the bubbles.
I know. He's riding the bat. I love it. I absolutely love that one.
I'm sorry, I do. I like the bubbles. He's riding a bass. He's got a little, and he's got the bass by the spinner bait.
I know. I love it.
I just love that one. It probably took about three days. The first time I bought a bunch from Steve, he sent me picture after picture. This is one of my favorites. There's this Shaw Grigsby.
I love that one. Yeah.
I just gave that one to him.
Yeah.
At the B.A.S.S?
at the Classic. Yeah, he was. And here's the thing: is he was signing. He was, the guy had a huge line just going. Took forever to get there. So I was cutting through with his, because I told him I was going to bring one to him, and I'm cutting through, and I had it in a frame and everything. So I'm cutting through and everything, and then you just stay there. And that's another guy that just the way he sounds and the way he talks, that's how he is. So he's like, oh yeah, and he's signing these things for people. And I came up to him, and I stood behind him, and then he turns around and he goes, Steve, and then we start, and then he told me he had me sign the poster there, and they're all watching, and they're like, oh yeah, it was really cool. That's another guy that's just
he's huge,
a blessing, and
he's
a man.
giant.
Absolutely,
He's
such a huge entity, but yet he engages with everybody.
Exactly,
in the family.
The guy's a legend, isn't he?
Yeah,
legend. He just talks to you like, hey, what's going
I know,
on?
like you just saw him yesterday at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, oh jeez,
he's phenomenal.
Shaw actually watches my periscopes.
I think
This is it.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You got stuff to do, and you're watching Lizard
people
talk
like
about
that,
nonsense.
like him and Iconelli. I mean, they love the sport.
Yeah.
Yes. Am I right? I mean, they love the sport. They watch everything that has to do with fishing.
Yeah.
But for them to watch Lizard King's Periscope, they must be really, really bored. They love the sport, but they are really bored too.
I think it is that there's an affinity for some of us that are really trying to bring something back to the sport because I don't want to say the sport is in disarray, but and we could talk a little bit about the MLF and all that stuff that came up. But more importantly, it wasn't just that the addition of MLF and the big shakeup. It was also about the fact that if you look at the numbers, and Monster and I are constantly looking at the marketing numbers for anglers and hunters and things like that, just for business purposes. There is in the outdoors industry, there has been a steep decline, much like golf. Golf is the same way. Yeah. Steep decline in people being interested, and you always have to look about 20 to 30 years ahead in the market, because if you're not fostering that youth, that market will show a depletion 15, 20 years later. And so I think that those of us that push for bringing, continuing the quality of the market in the future, kind of gravitate towards one another and try to continue to push it, because it's a potential livelihood for everybody. And it's not necessarily about making money. I don't make any money at this. Anything that I'm showing you or selling you, I'm a product user, and I also buy Steve Donis's stuff.
Yeah, right.
I buy Cowboy Coffee Chew. I buy all that stuff. You know why? Because you can't take from people. You have to give back and support the people that you love.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%, Frank. It's
that is true.
You know, we're supporting the sport. You're supporting the sport, and hopefully, you know, helping it elevate to a point where it's
a sport that's just, I mean, it starts out with a kid. I mean, you're catching a fish.
Yes.
You know? And just look at the love that's brought into that. It's evolved into this huge, and like Lizard was saying, it's not about the money. It's just this huge industry that grew from catching that fish. But what is it taking catching the fish? Love Absolutely. Of the sport, the love of that feeling of, oh, look at this, you know.
You're 100% right.
And it became a competition. It became a thing, but it's a good sport. It's a good, clean sport.
Good, clean sport. I agree. When you mentioned talking about the love of the sport, and there is a certain, and I hate to bring the big G into this, but there is a certain cathartic. It's cathartic. Yeah. It's spiritual to me. Yeah. And I also think that it's an incredible thing for your psychology too.
Yes.
And psychology is something that is very warped in today's society. And over the last, 5 decades plus that I've been alive, I've seen it become more and more and more warped. And when you see kids who are into the outdoors, it becomes a very soft and satisfying thing for some of these kids. So
yeah, it's very true.
This is one of my favorites, Steve.
There you go. Yeah.
I love that one. Yeah. The B.A.S.S father.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration, Steve? Because you have some, like, all different kinds of art,
you know what I'll use as an example? I'll use you guys, because I get inspiration from what's around you. In other words, when they talked about the Lizard, Lizard King, then I looked at him, and I saw his personality. All that draws itself, actually. I think I'm gone. Is Lizard gone?
Nope.
No. I just got to take a leak.
Okay. All right.
He shuts his camera off and he cooks dinner and stuff.
I'll take the microphone in the bathroom if you want to listen.
No, it's all right. We're good. He does this every week.
And then Monster, I started looking at your stuff, and I'm saying, okay, what's around this guy? And then that inspires you, and it kind of puts everything together for you, And
Absolutely.
Then you go from there. And Iconelli, I mean, come on.
He's got to be so much fun to draw for you, because he's got so much energy and so much personality.
Yeah, exactly. The best thing about it is the guy laughs at himself.
Right.
You need that.
Absolutely,
especially for him, with all the, with carries a lot on his shoulders.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's and the guy is able to laugh at himself. And I think that's what makes your personality what it is, because if
Right.
some people let it go to their head or whatever, and he doesn't. I mean, he just laughs at himself. And I think this shows part of it, because I drew him and he loved it. The goofier I drew him, the more he loved it.
Absolutely.
Like, oh yeah, make my, that's what you want. That's what
absolutely. No, he's a fantastic ambassador to the sport.
Yeah.
So much fun to watch him. So much fun to watch him.
No, it's very humbling. All this stuff is humbling. I mean, to be able to use a gift, I guess, that you can do a lot with, I guess. It really, and to be able to do something with it and to contribute to the sport that you love to do, it's a blessing in itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, did you grow up? You're in Illinois now. Did you grow up there?
I grew up in Addison, Illinois, and now I live in St. Charles, Illinois. But yeah, Midwestern guy all my life.
So do you do any saltwater fishing at all? You ever make it to the coast?
You know what? I like I said, a cousin of mine took me fishing in Guatemala.
Yep.
So that's for saltwater fishing. That's a whole other animal that
Absolutely.
My mind when I saw them. Blew my mind when I saw what they do down there. All live bait fishing, and stuff like that. And no, not in the States. I haven't gone to the East Coast, or to the other coast to fish. Maybe someday, right, guys?
Anytime you want to come out, just so you know, we're out here in New England.
What's up, Monster? Hey, Steve, you're welcome here on the West Coast anytime.
Oh, no. The East Coast is where the fishing's at. Let me just tell you. We got the boat.
They're catching 250-pound tuna right now off the coast.
Oh, man. I'll take your word for it. I'll go out there.
Yeah, they're tiny out there, though. They're tiny. 250, that's nothing. We have Wicked Tuna is actually right out of Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Wicked Tuna, yeah.
They catch 1,000-pound tuna out there. So anytime you want to come, Steve.
Yep. Steve, 1,000-pound tuna don't exist. We catch Moby Dick out here on the West Coast. There's like
Marciano's out there then, huh?
He is. Marciano's
by Monster. And Justin from Battlefish is out here by me. Oh, Justin's actually on his way down
he's
from Santa Barbara.
He should be down there soon, right?
Yeah. And we're looking to go to I think we're trying to hook up and go down to Cabo? Was that tournament in Cabo?
I think it's in Cabo. Yeah, it's a week-long tournament.
Week-long saltwater fishing. $3 million purse.
Yeah.
Wow. $3 million.
I'm gonna win it all. I'm taking
We're gonna win it and start that nonprofit for the kids.
Yeah, actually, we already have some of that money earmarked. It's like winning the lottery ticket. You spend it before you win.
Yeah.
I'd like to pay back my investments in Lizard King Fishing and LKM Productions first.
Yeah, right. We'll do that. Oh my goodness.
I'd like to pay back that Steve Donis file.
Never.
Oh my God.
Oh goodness. I love it. So let's give away a poster.
Oh, we're supposed to give away a poster.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you want to give away? A specific poster, or do you want to give away? Pick your own. Here's a really awesome one. Do you want to pick?
Yeah. Okay, you pick one, Frank. You pick one, and then the last one we'll let somebody pick. We'll let.
All right. This is a fan favorite. This is a fan favorite, folks, and it's a favorite of mine. And this is the Ike Live with the Star Wars. Can you put that on the screen?
That's Dave.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a great show. I loved that show, and I think we should give this one away. What do you think?
I like it. I think anybody would be happy to have that one.
All right.
Sure.
So this is what's up for grabs, folks. We got to get Eddie going, and we need Steve to write down a number between
2 and 25.
2 and 25.
Ed, if you could give us a blast, that would be great. And don't show anybody yet.
All right.
I'm going to yell out the numbers as they come. And if you could just stop me, Steve, when you hear the number.
Okay.
23, 17, 25, 6, 14, 17, 18, 7, 18, 6, 8, 7, 16, 8,
Yep. Stop. 16.
16. Pawn Predator Nation.
Pawn Predator Nation.
We got
nice.
Jeff Davis. Congratulations.
Jeff Davis, congratulations. You've won yourself this Steve Donis poster. This is a rendition of a 2017 Ike Live show. That's from August 28th, 2017. Ike Live show. This was a great show. If you guys want to go over and check out Ike Live, I try to catch it every week when I can. It's just I love that one. That's one of my favorites. I don't know, maybe it's because I like Star Wars too, but
yeah, it's a stormtrooper on there who's always doing stuff.
I'm a Chewbacca
Well, now you're just
fan.
gonna have to buy another one for yourself because you just gave yours away. How do you like
No. I heard Steve wanted a new car, so I'd be happy to buy it from him. So go ahead and buy it from Steve. So, Jeff, I believe you. Do we have Jeff's information?
I got Jeff's information. We sure do.
All right, we have Jeff's information, and
After
the show, I'll hook up with Steve, and we'll get that stuff sent out to you. Okay.
Who won that first one? John Klopp. John
Klopp won the jig. Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations, Jeff. That's awesome. Go ahead.
For your show.
Yes, sir.
This is the first time I'm with you guys, and they're like, and the last. No, this is the first time I'm with you guys. And if you guys want to give something away,
okay.
I want to give. You guys remember the poster that was done for the Ike, the show he did, the Fish My City?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
The one when he first started, the one for.
Do I own that one?
I think.
Hold on. Hold on. We're looking here. Hold on. I might have to go into the other folder.
No, she's into the other.
No, it's not in this pile. I think it's in the other pile.
Steve, we can tell it like it is. Frank's just a super fan of yours, is what it is, and he just likes everything that you have. He actually stalked you several times. He's been outside your window twice. That I know of.
Well,
I am a super fan. I'm a super fan of the art, honestly.
Absolutely.
You can't beat that art. I mean, also, having met you and stuff.
Yeah.
My dad and my uncles and all the men in my life were very big about you could tell something about a man kind of thing.
Well, thank you.
And so
he's like, I didn't say it yet.
All I'm saying is when I meet a guy that seems like he's one that can lift up the world when the apocalypse happens, I gravitate towards him.
Oh man,
good peeps is good peeps. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I feel the same with you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Mike.
Appreciate
that a lot.
I'm gonna give this away. This is for one. This is the original pencils.
God,
you gotta be kidding me!
I can't win it. Contest.
Yeah. Come on.
So maybe you can, if you guys want to announce it out there, or if you want somebody to pick a number or whatever, we'll.
All right, we're gonna save that for the grand prize tonight.
All right.
Can we save that for the grand prize?
Yeah. Is that all right? That's a grand prize kind of thing.
I'll sign it, and then.
That's huge. Absolutely. That's
unbelievable.
This is the original. This is the pencil where I put it on there first, and then you go and you ink everything else out on.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely.
You're unbelievable. You are unbelievable. I'm blown away, Steve.
Well, Steve, I got to show you what normally is our grand prize is this right here. I'm not sure if you've seen these. But that right. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen for you. It is a pink crankbait signed by Aldo Rosado, who is self-proclaimed the greatest angler ever to grace the waters.
Uh-oh. Now I'm thinking I just added another Steve Donis to put in the queue.
I was already I'm ahead of you. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, we can get an Aldo Rosado poster done.
That's what I'm
with
thinking.
the pink crankbait.
With the pink
Do
crankbait.
you know, Steve, that you remember Kevin Van Dam had a little bit of a slump there?
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah. So he was kind of feeling bad about himself, and so he talked to Aldo. Aldo was I don't know if you're familiar with Aldo.
Have you ever seen Aldo?
Not
Never seen
yet.
Aldo?
Well, that's amazing because he is
Mhm.
self-proclaimed the greatest fisherman ever to grace the waters. And
Yeah.
so, as such, he gave Kevin Van Dam a pink crankbait, and it broke him
That's
out
the
of
gold right there.
gold.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
And as soon as he talked to Aldo, that was when he came out of his slump. He won the classic that year. So
Yep. That's the story. That's the
Oh,
story.
really?
big
Yep.
stuff.
Story.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Now we
So we
haven't
should
verified that story yet, but that is the story.
probably honor the man with a Steve Donis poster.
We're going to.
We're going to.
Aldo.
Oh, I'm gonna have to take out a second mortgage.
So, Steve,
I'm glad I got that raise. I'm glad I got that raise.
I know, right? You got any plans for 2019?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Keep drawing. That's what I'm doing for 2019. I got everything going. Things are. It's a tight schedule.
Yeah.
But, that's what my plans are, to just keep drawing on a daily basis, and that's why today earlier we were talking, and I told you guys I had
that deadline.
a deadline that was due today. So it's just that's the way it is, man. That's why I'm telling you guys you got to keep it going, because sometimes things you do fall behind. You have to give yourself that little leeway in case something goes wrong, or what have you.
No,
Let me ask a viewer question. This was submitted by Snake here in the chat room. He says, "How long have you been drawing commercially?"
Oh, commercial.
Yes, and then that also leads me into a commercial question, which is, how long does it take you now? What's your timeline with B.A.S.S Times? And how do they submit what you're supposed to illustrate for the B.A.S S Times issue?
Well, I have an art director there, and he gives me, like you guys do, he gives me the layout of what he needs. Like he'll tell me this is the story. There's a writer to it. Obviously, there's a guy who writes a story, and then they give me, he's directing me, so he tells me exactly, what the layout is, what he's looking for. But like you guys do, he lets me do the spin on, what you think. So it's basically, I just take it. It's like reading a script. Like you're drawing you're writing a comic.
Sure.
You draw it. You get the script, and then you go from there. You're the describer, I guess, on the canvas.
Now, how much leeway do they give you? Do they give you like 10? All right, we got to have this.
Depends. It depends on how big the project is. If it's a little, if it's and what's coming on. If there's a holiday coming up or whatever, so they give you a little bit more time. If not, when it's getting close to B.A.S.S Classic time,
Crazy.
it's boom, 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 boom. But that's the way it is. That's the way we like it. That's it.
Yeah.
That pressure helps.
Now, do you lock yourself in the room for like 8 hours, 10 hours a day?
Oh, guys,
Are you structured like that?
There's a flip side. See, here, my friends used to say, "Oh, Steve, man, you got it made. You're working from your home and you're doing this and everything." Okay, but guess what, though? While they're out fishing, telling me all the stories of what they caught, I'm drawing. So
exactly.
And I live in Chicago, so one of the advantages is it is an advantage is when it's snowing outside and it's freezing and I'm inside working. You know what I mean? I'm so that's I'm gonna take that one. But when it's not 80 degrees out, it's a beautiful day with a breeze. I'm in here working. They're out there fishing.
Throw this up there while he's talking, Monster.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are subscribed to B.A.S.S Times, but this is an awesome magazine to be subscried to.
Very informative, isn't it? Oh yeah.
Yes.
They got some
I
great
just read it for the cartoons.
I buy it
And that's an illustration by
Steve Donis. Oh yeah, look at that.
Donis.
Thank you, man. That's it.
What month is that?
So that was, I think, this last month. Volume 49. That was March. Yep.
Was that March?
Yeah, it was March.
Yeah.
So there should be coming in a couple weeks. There should be another Bass Times coming to my door. Bass Times is a great publication, as is of course Bassmaster. Have you ever done anything in Bassmaster?
At Bassmaster, not yet, but
Okay.
they did inform me. I guess I don't know if I could talk about that or not, but
Yeah, please. Oh, you can't. Oh, I got you. You
No,
can't
yeah,
talk
exactly.
about it. Gotcha.
But there's something in the cooks in the works.
Nobody
Well,
watches the show anyway.
since we got the cooks and the works talking, let's get this one out of the way.
All right.
How did the shakeup, and everybody knows about the shakeup between the FLW, B.A.S.S, and MLF. Now, everybody, you know, a lot of us on here have two kind of hands in the pie anyhow, as far as a consumer goes, because I can't be in B.A.S.S in California. I've got to be in FLW. Now, when it comes to B.A.S.S, I've been a B.A.S.S member since I was, God, I can't remember when I think my uncle bought my first membership.
Wow.
I am on I think I know I buy 5-year, but I am about to, they just sent me a thing to make it a lifetime. And I think it's time for me just to make it a lifetime. I could have saved myself a lot of money a long time ago, but I'm going to make myself a lifetime because they're offering this awesome, Huck jacket included. I mean, it's like $300-$400 worth of stuff that they're going to give me to become a lifetime member, and it cost me $500. So it's like, why not just get that stuff?
No-brainer.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a no-brainer. So how did that affect you? Because a lot of the friends in the industry that you do stuff for and you interact with, there was a big split.
Right. No, but that it doesn't affect me in any way because it's everything that's for Bass you do for Bass in their magazine. Everything that I'm doing as a client for anybody else is regardless, you know. So I could draw anybody who's in anything as long as you know it's everything separate, you know, and that's where licensing and all that stuff comes in on my part, and I own all that, so that's okay.
Oh.
When it comes
Did any of those relationships change, or did anybody talk about any chatter that was going on as people switched over?
No, you know what? I think everybody who's, because you know, especially when you're at the Classic, you hear all the stories and you hear what's going down and everything, and basically they're all in this. They're happy that the sport is growing, because regardless if one's going the other way and the other way, there's no like real bad blood. You know, when it comes to all that stuff, because the sport is growing. So, you know, it benefits the people. It benefits the people who are watching it. It benefits the kids that are dreaming, because it keeps building dreams. You know,
absolutely.
You know, some kids watching out there wants to become an MLF type of guy, or they always want to become a Bassmaster. You know, it's so who gains? The kids and the future of the sport.
And that's what's most
important. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great business model, but Monster and I do all this stuff for the expansion of the sport, and absolutely, we're all about the expansion of the sport. We don't, unfortunately, we're saps, but
well, it's gonna work out in the long run. I got two daughters that I'm trying to get fishing, and if they see our excitement in the sport and they get excited about the sport, then hopefully someday they have kids. Not until they're in their 50s, but someday my kids have kids and they'll get their kids into the sport. You know, so it's contagious. You know, the more excited you can get about anything, you know,
just keep going. I'm telling you, I know it's easier said than done, right? Just to say, oh, keep going, but you know, because I know that there's investments involved and there's things that you guys gotta, you know, whatever. But it comes, I'm telling you, it comes back, and it comes back in a big way, because you guys are doing it for the love of the sport, and it comes back. You'll see. Absolutely. I mean, it's
yeah. I think we've seen it, and you know, I mean, we've to be lucky enough to have somebody like you on our show is pretty incredible.
Oh, yeah.
We really appreciate that. We need to give away a couple more things because we had a half an hour snafu, so we got to crunch a couple things in here. Let's give away another poster.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you
Does
got?
everybody out there in YouTube world want to win a Steve Donis poster?
Yep, they do.
Do you want me to flash some on the screen? Let somebody pick something? I don't know.
Yep,
What do you want
flash
to do?
them. Flash them. I like it when you flash, Frank. I like it when you flash.
Can I show? This is another reason I love Steve, and I collect all the Fishing Family posters too. And I haven't gotten Jenny Prickett's, but that's going to be in this order for all these giveaways. So here's a couple of my favorites, folks. This is the kid.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a great poster.
Grayson.
Gordon,
You did a great job.
I saw him at the Classic, and I actually got to talk with their dad, and very
Gordon,
nice.
what a great guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, great gentleman. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good people. Those kids are hammers, and if they want to have a future in the pro fishing, they've got a big head start. Head start. They even got the marketing down too. So.
Oh yeah.
And this is a BHO.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Turbo, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Turbo Buzz. Great guy.
Oh yeah, Derek Herring. He is.
Yeah, I love Derek.
A great guy. Awesome.
Someday I'm gonna go fishing with Derek. I can't wait.
Yeah. Derek's gonna be on our show one day.
Yep.
I thought I had I think my Wassman, I've got a Wild Bill Wassman, he's in my other pile.
Oh yeah. He's in the Fishing Family. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Bill.
Yep.
I got
Bill, right?
Yep.
Another great guy.
Oh, we got that one. That's my all-time favorite one right there.
Yeah, they are. Look at those toes. I enjoy those.
I love those toes. Everybody talks about the creepy hand.
I've never looked so good on paper. I was actually going to try to see if I can get that for my license picture next time. That'd be great.
So I'm going to put a question out here real quick to the does somebody want a Fishing Family poster or some of other Steve's works like Ike Live or something? I'm going to give you a choice: Fishing Family poster or Steve's other works. Real quick, we're going to give away a LKM Cup poster, Keith. Don't worry.
It says BHO. Keith Bucktail says LKM Cup. That's Montauk? Montauk Fisher's in the house.
Yeah, Montauk's in here.
Nice. Fishing Family. All right, Ike. Fishing Family. I think the general.
Fishing Family?
Yeah, I think it's a Fishing Family. Let's give away a Fishing Family.
Do you want to give away BHO? We'll give away a BHO.
Yes. Let's give away a BHO. Which
now there's two of them, right, Steve? I think there's two of them.
Yeah. Which one do you have there?
I've got the green one right now. I think I got the other one in the other pile because I collect Fishing Family Steve's works from the Fishing Family too. That's very near and dear to my heart. And this is the green one. I love this one.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's got the
beautiful
that lure. I think that's the chatterbait, right?
It's the.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's the
Turbo Buzz.
It's his
Turbo Bullet.
Yeah, the Bullet.
Yeah, it's the red or the green and
red.
Red is the swamp thing. No, that's the Texas Craw.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
It's awesome nonetheless. I don't know what it's called, but
it's a great.
Look at that.
Oh, here it says it right on the bottom. Yeah, Texas Craw. Red Texas Craw. I have caught so many bass on that Red Texas Craw. Actually, when I was out with Randy Mortensen, I caught quite a few on that that particular one. Yeah, I caught 2 on the Red Texas Craw, 1 on the PB&J, and then 2 on his spinner baits. I fished everything else that day. I threw 700 plus casts and all I could catch them on was BHO that day. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it was weird. It was very bizarre, but
I did make
happens
for him.
sometimes.
I don't know where I don't have one of the other ones, but
yeah, I think I've got the other one in his pile, but this one is legit. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and give this one away.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, folks. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a one away.
Ed, if you can give us a blast, and Steve, if you don't mind writing a number between 2 and 30 this time.
Okay.
I'm getting these great texts.
I know, me too. Yeah, tell me about it.
All right.
You got your number?
I got the number.
All right, Ed, hit us with that blast. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Wait till you see the blast.
Wait till you see Ed's blast.
If Ed's still on here.
Ed's still on here. Ed doesn't leave
I
us.
still don't see the blast.
Oh, jeez. Come on, Ed.
I'm going to do the blast. I'll do the blast. Jeez. Oh, there it is. All right, there's the blast. We got 7.
There's a blast.
12, 19,
7,
13,
8, 12,
4.
19, 13, 4, 14, 24, 27, 8, 4, 15, 21, 16, 22, 29, 15, 26, 9, 18, 22.
I just let you go because it was the very first number.
Oh,
What was it?
7?
7?
Yeah, you guys said 7 right away, right?
Yeah.
Uncle Pete.
That's my Uncle Pete.
All right, Uncle Pete.
Yes.
I'm so excited. My uncle won something. That's awesome.
All right. I like it.
Hey, Uncle Bubba, you are winning yourself. And he has a room at his place up north. It's called the Rack Room.
Perfect place for that poster.
It's got pictures of racks all over the place.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Racks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he's got all of his. So
there it goes. This is where it goes downhill, Steve. It goes downhill.
It was funny. It was funny. So as a joke, women take pictures of their cleavage because it's the Rack Room, right? He's got like all of his deer. No, he's got all his deer antlers and stuff. Now his big mounts are in the house, but all of his deer antlers are out there, and that's where he'll work on all of his reels, and all of his fishing stuff is in there, and so he's always cleaning stuff up and sharpening hooks and whatever, and then so
Rack Room around here.
Yeah, exactly. So it became a joke. It became a joke with some of the women in our lives that they started taking pictures for him and then mounting the pictures and like signing them and stuff. The Rack Room, right?
The Rack Room. See, that's a poster.
My aunt.
That's right.
My aunt didn't like the picture of her rack. So what she did was she took a tube. Check this out. She took a tube top and she shimmied it over her butt and took a picture for my uncle. It's hilarious.
That's another way to do it.
That's another way to do it. It's hilarious. I'm not going to talk about my aunt's rack, but if you knew my family, that's why we're kind of jokesters, and she kind of was messy.
I love it.
Yeah, it's funny. So there you go, Peter Knipp, Uncle Bubba. You just won yourself a BHO. This is a Steve Donis poster, the B.A.S.S. Illustrator. So that's awesome.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
You guys
still got a couple things coming up. Go ahead.
Do you guys know Scott Shryak? The Bassmaster?
No.
I'm not familiar.
I know a lot of them.
He's a new up-and-comer.
Oh, that was actually an illustration in B.S. in B.A.S.S times.
In B.A.S.S times.
Yeah.
I kind of put these like on a little
that was February, I think, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and you guys want to auction this one off and with a number, and I'll send this one.
All right.
Absolutely. Let's ask another question though, and we'll auction that one off here.
Talk about that rack.
I like that one. And that was
nice.
In the magazine. I love it.
I'll put this one over here too to send to you guys.
All right.
So let's talk about these posters before we give that one away.
Right.
Go ahead, Monster.
What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about the posters.
So folks, you do not have to be ultra famous to have Steve draw you.
It's so difficult to figure you out sometimes. I would sit
Seriously.
there like, oh yeah, hey, throw it over to Monster. What do you want to talk about? Okay.
You know, folks, I spend like 10 hours writing a script every week.
We went over this like 15 times today.
Yeah, and it's always just lizard's fault, lizard's fault, lizard's fault.
It's so your fault all the time. Hey, the technical difficulties this afternoon, or this evening, I should say, were all your fault.
They might have been. They might have been. And I was blaming it. And I blamed it on Steve, the lowest man on the totem pole in the room. You know,
Steve went downstairs and shut all the TVs off. It wasn't even.
he was unplugging the blender. Is it coming out of the blender?
Kid, shut off the televisions. I think it's my fault.
So, folks, you do not have to be ultra famous like I am to have Steve draw you.
Right.
Just to let you know. Steve is also for hire. And I'm sure you can, Steve, go ahead and let people know where they can get in contact with Steve if they're trying to look to do a promotional photo. For instance, Snake called Steve to do Jenny Prickett's birthday present. I don't have that one yet, but it will be coming to me when I order all of your gifts, folks. So how do people get a hold of you, Steve, to actually contract you?
Either like I said before, istaytuned.com, but that's right now we're going, I'm uploading stuff and everything. And the other way is McQueen1313 is through Twitter.
Yep.
You guys can always go on there, McQueen1313 on Twitter, and the other is Steve _Donis on Instagram. That's I get quite a few on there. For some reason, that's one of the areas where a lot of people order stuff.
Right.
And what's your backlog now? About a month?
Oh yes, guys. It used to be. I used to say 3 weeks. It's 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks. I would say right now, just because of everything.
After this episode, it's going to be about 10 weeks, folks, because we're going to hit them with like 5 posters.
I had a deadline today. I got that done earlier.
Wait till I get my tax check.
He's relentless, isn't he, Steve?
The last time he's like, "Yes, hey Steve, I'm gonna order that." Whoa!
Yeah.
Hold on, Steve, because I started. I'm like, "All right, which one do we want here?"
Yeah. Well,
hold on a second.
the gen, when stuff triggers me, then I get on him, and so when he finished the Prickett, I was like, okay, so here we go, Steve. I'm going to start with the Prickett, and now we got to talk after that, right? So,
and that one wasn't but too hard to get inspired by, right? And all the jumping, looking at Jennifer. She's a beautiful woman. That's
I like the one with the camera.
The
one with the little camera.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that was a great poster. And Anybody who wants to hire Steve to do something awesome like that, please do it. He's an incredible illustrator, and he knows that every time he does one of those, he's got at least one sold. Because I collect them. I collect them because I revere everyone here in the fishing family, and so I buy one of those.
Well, in once we do our production studio, because that is going to happen, we are going to have a wall of just Steve Donis posters that the production studio.
Yeah, it's just going to be
in case you didn't know,
whole wall,
taking them all from you.
Okay.
I collect them because I want that to be my backdrop on my studio feed. So
absolutely,
yeah, that's why I collect them.
Game plan. It's a game plan. Long time.
I think long term. So
all right, so. Let's give this one away.
All right.
We have to wrap this up shortly.
Okay.
We ran a little bit late. So I know Steve's a busy guy and I'm a busy guy. I'm very, very busy.
All right.
Me too.
No, I'm not ready.
I'm guessing Virginia's home.
She's home. She's home. So it's time to go.
Oh, I see.
But let's do this. Let's do a number. You want to write one more number down? Let's do
gotcha.
2
from what to what?
In 30.
Eddie, we're gonna need a blast, my friend.
Ed, blast it up. And this one is for
The poster from the February B.A.S.S Times.
yes. All right.
Try rock.
Between 2 and 30. Ed, blast us up.
Right.
Blast. Here we go. We got 30, 28, 4, 12, 8,
12.
Whoa.
12.
12.
Jack Van Fleet. Jack's Lures won himself a poster from Steve Donis. Congratulations.
Wow.
Jack Van Fleet.
All right. He's an artist himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Unbelievable lures.
That
Unbelievable.
one's coming for you, Jack.
All right.
The
That's
crest
awesome.
Right there you go.
That's a nice one. So that's going to come to you, Jack, signed by Steve himself. That's huge.
All right.
Yeah.
Steve, do
Yeah.
you do anything? Have you done anything as far as like really big projects outside of like what we see, like posters and things like that?
Yes, I've done a couple of they're personal projects that they wanted done, and it was like a poster board actually of a car, like an antique
Wow.
type of car, and a guy did
Really?
it for him. He wanted it for himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that, like, you're going like something that's just big on the side, right?
Yeah. Something outside of the
norm?
posters that we normally see.
Yeah. It was he usually when they have a project that's big, what they want the actual license to it and everything, so they bought all that stuff and
Yeah.
completely theirs.
Oh,
Have you ever done anything that anyone's ever put on a billboard or a large mural?
A billboard? No, that was like the largest one that I did. That one of it was an antique car, and it was maybe like the size of a closet door, kind of.
Wow.
That type of thing. But it wasn't a billboard or
Jeez.
anything like that. But yeah.
wow.
Do you have to compress that and turn it into a higher digital resolution to?
You have to, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're drawing digital, because I draw digitally also.
Yep.
So when you're doing it digitally, you could do whatever size you want. You know,
Yeah.
You're drawing. Your daughter could probably tell you you're drawing it right on there, and so
Yeah.
you have
Compresses the pixelation so you have a finer line the larger you blow it up.
Yeah. So in other words, if you're doing something that's like 20 by whatever, you draw it digitally. You could draw it at a size where you're drawing normally, but when it gets printed at that measurement. So, and it won't move because you drew it at that size anyway. So
Yeah. Wow.
Cool. Very cool.
Do people ever hire you outside of the fishing, minus the car?
Right.
Do you ever get requests for your artistry outside of the fishing industry?
Yeah, I do it for some reason that a lot. Oh, not for some reason, but this for dogs, the dog world.
Oh yeah.
What?
Training, canine training, and
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
I get a lot of that done.
Oh, we
have
got
another one for you coming up then.
You're a dog. You're into dog training?
I have this beautiful, beautiful Australian cattle dog that I've been trying to breed. So I have this little thing on Twitter going right now called Pimp My Dog.
Oh.
I'm trying. I have a need for seed. All right.
I have the need for
Seed. That's right. High five.
All right.
So I've been doing these little segments trying to show my dog out there, and I think it might be a perfect.
Yeah,
That's exactly what we need.
Oh wow! Look at that.
drawing things like that, and
That's
you want to show the guys stuff. Yeah, but like with dogs and things like that, I've done that a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, if you need.
give me a. Let's show Steve. All right. So this is my Australian. Yeah, look up here. What's this? What's this?
Oh.
This is my Australian cattle dog. Her name's Winnie.
Oh, that's him.
All the time, and she goes crazy for it. I will find somebody to breed. I hope, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe a promotional poster, maybe her in something sexy like a lingerie or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me know. Lingerie, yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be perfect? And we could say, you know, She's no strings
ready.
attached relationship or something.
She's ready, huh? She's
Yes. Oh my goodness. She's gonna be going through a heat cycle in about 3-4 weeks now.
all right.
Yeah, she's so rambunctious. I gotta breed her soon.
Steve,
Yeah.
you know, you you walk around some pretty to us. You walk around some pretty famous circles. Do you ever get starstruck? Is there somebody that, you know what I mean? Like you just really, do you ever get like you really wanted to meet that person? I'm
well,
not saying that they're not just regular Joes, but do you ever get starstruck like before you meet them?
oh yeah, yeah. Like I said before, I mean, that's to me it was Ike.
Like the first,
You know?
the first
When
time you met
felt-
Ike. Well,
it
let's talk
felt-
about that. What was it
felt
like the first time you
surreal.
met Ike? Yeah.
Yeah, I met him down in with oh gosh, I forget if it was Alabama or Georgia or Alabama or I forgot, but I went down there and I went up. I actually got to meet him, and you know, he was in his cabin in his little not cabin, his what do you call that? Those trailers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like his RV type of thing.
Yeah.
And I talked to him there for a while, and it was a one-on-one thing. And I went on his boat and a bunch of stuff, and it felt surreal, you know, because you're sitting there. I'm like, man, this guy is my idol in fishing, and yet I'm here talking to him. And like, but I said he makes it the easiest thing because he's just a down to earth guy, and he's just it's just him. And I remember him on one of his shows when he was fishing. He's doing this thing where he used to do this thing where he'd show you how to rip it out of the grass, like he'd hit his
right.
his rod. You know, he's like, he's teaching people how to do this and everything. And I said to myself, if I ever meet that guy, I'll ask him about that. I got my opportunity. When I was there, I asked him right off the bat. I was like, do you remember that? And he's like, yeah. And he showed it to me up, you know, like right there. And that was incredible. You know, I'm like, wow, look at this. You know, he's got it. I got him right here. Yeah, no, that and a shout out to Pete Glusick. You guys know him. Pete Glusick.
Yeah, Pete. Yep.
That guy also, that's another guy that's just a blessing of a man, you know, that when you talk to him and everything. And starstruck, you know, meeting what's his name? Oh gosh. He had all the shows before. His son's name is Scott. Give me somebody who's really famous.
Bill
Scott.
Dance?
No, in Bill Dance's era.
Hank
Oh,
Parker.
I can't even think of this right now. Come on, Steve.
Bill Dance.
There's Bill Dance.
Hank Parker. Babe Winkleman. Dance, Winkleman, Parker.
Grigsby.
Greg. No. From that era.
He lost some weight now, but he used to be kind of a
Johnny Morris.
Morris is another big one. Roland Martin is a big one.
Roland Martin.
Yeah.
Roland Martin.
Oh,
they're the legends.
Who was that?
Martin.
Legends.
Yeah.
Roland
You
Martin.
know what I'm talking about? Roland Martin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We know Roland Martin. Trust me.
He is another guy that I got to meet that I was like, wow.
How was it?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting next to him and he's talking and he's like, well, you know, when I was doing this, you know, he's going and I'm looking and going, wow, I'm talking to him, dude. You know, so that was a moment like that, I guess.
Yeah. Where do I got that?
You know the coolest thing about that is these guys are famous for fishing. For fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For catching. There you go.
This is one of my all-time prized possessions right here.
Oh
That's a legend right there. Yeah.
Bill Dance. Yeah, I love Bill.
Bill Dance.
Bill Dance, baby.
I've seen some of his youth, like they do.
Lizard King, Fish On, Bill Dance.
Yeah.
Dang it.
They do like these excerpts of when they were filming and just, you know, all the bloopers and the blooper reels. Bill Dance is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Oh, man.
He
has one of the best blooper reels ever.
With the camera crew where they're falling in the water.
Oh, yeah. We falls in the water. Yep. That's legendary.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, man, we used to watch like Bill Dance, Roland Martin. My uncle probably still has some the cassette tapes. I don't know if Uncle Pete is still on here, but Bill Dance. We had, I don't know if anyone had Babe Winkleman, but we had Babe Winkleman. because we were more north, and a lot of that stuff was regional network television back then.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't until cable that you got the guys from Texas, like Roland, you know. But back then, let's see, it was the early '80s when they started to bring that Florida and that Texas programming up on cable. But I mean, it was it. I didn't watch cartoons. I watched Bill Dance.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, I didn't watch Bugs Bunny. I watched Bill Dance. You know,
Someday we'll see Monster Dance.
It's gonna happen.
On the Ellen Show. On the Ellen Show.
It's gonna happen. Get on the Ellen Show.
Yeah.
I am dancing for Ellen. I have my own. It's called I call it the Funky Monster. And
whoa, you heard it, folks.
Yep, it's my own dance. I made it up myself years ago, and it's the only dance that I know. Yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But actually, I just invited Michael Johns. He's got a raffle coming up for a charity called Folds of Honor. Hopefully, he can jump on this live stream real quick so he can do us a little shout out for it. But he's got the publicist of the Ellen Show has actually reached out to his camp, and they're trying to see what kind of interest there is for them to bring him onto the show. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Is we're trying to go to the Ellen Show and write the essay and endorse MJ to get on that show. And if you guys in the chat room don't mind doing that, head on over to his page, click on the link and write a quick essay. It's an unbelievable charity, and he's such a great guy. He's actually raffling off a bass boat.
His bass boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
To gain funds.
Who was that? Somebody just put up their bass. I bought a ticket for $100. It was for the ministries. It was darn it. It was one of the famous guys.
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Shelby told me to take out the hat. He says you're ruining it.
What are you doing?
He's like, don't touch
He probably wants me to encapsulate it in like
shadow box. You got to shadow box it. That's right. Toss it on your wall.
Are you kidding me?
In the frame.
I probably should, huh?
Yeah, you should. You should.
I'm gonna put it on the set. But
did he send it to you, or did he give it to you? Like he signed it in front of you? And
no, I didn't get a chance to be. He just sent it to me.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay.
Yeah. He I promote a lot of Bill Dance stuff. And he's another guy, just regular dude. Regular dude. You know, these guys, if you guys aren't familiar, these guys are still on YouTube today.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, the show is not on Sunday mornings on CBS anymore, folks. People like Bill Dance, people like Roland Martin, people like Babe Winkleman or Johnny Morris. They still do shows, but they're on YouTube. So if you thought they faded away, they're still out there, and they're putting out more content than we are actually right now. So if you hit their bell notifications, you'll get one or two from Bill Dance a week, especially when the waters get warm. Yeah. And they have now their grandkids help run their social media, and it's pretty exciting because you know, that was is she Virginia? You better text me.
I'm wrapping it up myself actually. Because we're running late now, and I know Steve's got to work tomorrow.
I know it's Steve Donis.
I know it's early on the West Coast, but jeez.
All right. Well, let's throw up. Let's.
Nice. A big shout out for the Dale Adams, another guy out there who's special ops, and he gets a lot of them commissioned for certain artists. I mean, for certain anglers out there too. He actually commissions them and then has them sent to these people. It's a great
troops.
Yeah, he's the one that had this one for the Boom Boom.
Oh yeah. I actually own that one.
Yeah, that's why he actually has those commissioned. I just want to give a shout out to him out there.
Yeah. Is it for troops?
Yeah, for the troops.
Really?
Special ops guy. Yeah.
You know what? I think that's something we have a big thing coming up here, Steve. That's going to be a jersey. and
Yep.
it's going to be for
The charities.
yeah, for the charity. Yeah, it's going to be like Captain Dan's what's Captain Dan's charity?
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan's charity. You know, what's his name?
Gary Sinise. Yep.
Gary Sinise charity.
Oh.
We're gonna do Folds of Honor. We're gonna do Fishing Family has
Fishing
Eddie's
in the dark.
Fishing in the
I got
Dark.
shirt on right now.
Ah.
Fishing in the dark.
We're
is
gonna
a-
have 2022.
Yep, the 20.
Lizard
Captain-
Lizard Queen's brother was a vet and he committed suicide. So
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
it is life. It is a rough, sometimes daily thing, but we are. So we're gonna have a bunch of charities up on our jersey. And it's all yep. It's all gonna be to support the troops.
Yep.
And yeah, we would like to talk to you a little bit more about doing some commissioning for some of the troops and getting some money for troops. And perhaps we could do a giveaway to troops overseas if we could figure out a way to get that feed to them and they could all participate in some sort of
What we thinking?
Steve Donis giveaway where maybe they put up videos of themselves and their platoons. And then maybe we could get their group of guys drawn by you. We'd be happy to pay for it.
Yep.
And then we could give it. I'd love to fly over. Maybe we could talk to the USO and we could fly us over.
We're going really crazy here. Let's talk about.
Hold on. Did you say crazy?
This is
Oh,
an
folks.
idea, man. Oh, jeez.
This is a good idea, folks. You thought this was crazy, but Lizard King always comes up with crazy stuff.
This is the guy from Split from that movie. Just a different.
Seriously,
perspective.
Oh goodness! All right, so let's get to this giveaway. But we definitely will be talking to you, Steve, in the
All
future.
right. Yes, absolutely, guys. You guys know.
Stuff.
You guys have my number.
All right. I know we got your number, unfortunately.
So
I wish I could lose that number. It'd be cheaper.
there we go. So we have a Steve Donis hand drawn,
folks.
and on top of that, we have the legendary Aldo Rosado pink crankbait. Oh, let me put up Steve's. Hold on one second, Steve. Keep it right there. Look at that, folks. That is a hand drawn.
If you don't think that this is not a collector's item, folks, you're fooling yourself.
That's a one-off right there.
That is a one-off. And you better
signed by Steve
hermetically
Donis.
seal that thing in some lexicon
I'll tell you what,
because
whoever wins this, call me. I'll buy it from you.
Yeah,
seriously, I'm talking about it.
I'm gonna sign it if that means anything. But I'm gonna sign it.
Yes.
And
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
It's for the audience.
I made the mistake once of telling Steve I wanted my poster signed, and right, and then I kind of quipped back at him, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right, they're all signed." And damn it, I have one signed by him because I got him to sign one, but all of them are the digital signature, and I was like, damn it, I never should have made fun of that.
So we got.
It wasn't on purpose, man. Next time I'll sign them all.
We got the Steve Donis poster, and we have the Aldo signed pink crankbait. All right,
Yep.
So we're gonna do a number between 2 and 30.
Now, remember, folks, these are two collector's items. Two collector's items.
Two collector's items. From
You better put these things in lexicon and keep them forever because these things, I do not want to see these things on eBay.
I do. It might be.
Ed Sellers Blast is up. Did you write down a number, Steve?
Yes, I did.
We have 15, 28, 23, 13, 22, 22, 14, 17, 13, 3, 6, 13, 19, 27, 20, 15, 13, 28, 26, 29, 8, 22, 4, 19, 25. Stop me anytime, Steve.
No.
10.
25.
15.
10.
What?
10. John Klopp. John Klopp
What
got
number was it? 10?
10.
Oh, John Klopp.
Congratulations, John. He won twice tonight. He's got the Jack.
No, did he win twice tonight?
Yeah, he's got the Jack's jig. It's coming to you. Jack's Lures made that jig. And you got that right there. Hand signed one off. Congratulations, John. That's coming to you. It's going to be signed by Steve.
Yeah. I better see that on the wall on your videos, John.
John, I'm going to keep this crankbait. You've already won 3 of them, I think.
Yeah. John, we're going to send you something else in place of that crankbait because
we're going to send you
already, unless you want it.
Unless you want it, yep. But we can send you.
But otherwise, we'll send you a bunch of like baits, like Next Gen or Martys or Jack's Lures or Cowboy Coffee Chew or something instead of that. But I think
we'll send you some old line. Some old line.
Yeah, I got some old braid laying around, 40-pound if you want.
Right. Oh goodness. Steve, we can't thank you enough for coming tonight.
Oh, guys, thank you very much. I'm humbled by you guys. Thank you so much.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Great people. You guys are good people. And
well,
you'll be on the other. You watch one day. Everyone's gonna be going, "Yeah, you knew Lizard when he was, yeah, of course I did." And then Lizard's be like, "Yeah,
jail, jeez, jail."
And monster, yeah. You guys know I am. I'm humbled by you guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate being on your show. It's an honor. Thank you. May God bless you always and keep going. Don't stop. You guys
may God bless you, Steve.
Not doing anything wrong. You guys are doing good. So don't stop.
Thank you, Steve.
We really appreciate that, Steve.
And folks, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and bearing with us through the technical difficulties earlier.
Yeah,
had a little bit of a hiccup, but we made it through. And we can't.
Let me tell them what's going on next week.
Yes,
real quick.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Next week we have Nashville recording artist Jennifer Malott on the show, and Jennifer actually fishes, and she's got quite an extensive theme background also, and there's still voting going on for the ISSA Awards. It's the Independent Singer-Songwriters Awards. Look for our tweets. Wow. And we're going to try and get Jennifer Malott and Ron Campbell.
Should we tell everybody about that?
Hold on. And Rob.
All right.
Ron Campbell and Rob. Go ahead.
All right. We're heading to the ISSA awards ceremony. We're heading down. We're going to be there. And we're going to be filming on the red carpet.
In a lizard suit.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out, folks. Watch out.
What were they thinking? Jeez. Are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
Every time people offers this stuff, we say, "Are you sure?
Are you sure?"
Do you know?
Did you watch our stuff?
Have you seen my red nose?
No, I talked to the network actually this morning. I meant to tell you, Frank, but I decided not to. So I'll tell you now. The network is supporting us on this one, so they're going to be sending a camera crew down with us.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Thank you,
that one.
Nesson, Nessn.
There goes that light.
Oh, thank you, Nesson. That's where you're going to see Hunting for Monsters, hopefully airing in August, I believe.
August 17th. Let me just check that date.
That's going to be our first air of our first nationally broadcast TV show.
Well, it's regionally broadcast, but they're an affiliate of ESPN.
ESPN.
17th.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday. I don't know the time slot yet.
Of course, we got awesome stuff going on. There's some pretty cool stuff going on for LKM Cup. That thing is looking, it's not greenlit right at this point, but there's a lot of awesome stuff going on with the networks for the LKM Cup. So if you are going to be participating in the LKM Cup, you might be on national programming also. We are always, is that an LKM Cup poster?
LKM Cup poster.
Really? Look at that.
Mr. Steve Donis right there. Hey, we have him here. I love it. Absolutely.
What's the odds of that?
I don't know.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Just look at it.
Just look at it.
Well, thank you so much, folks. We really appreciate you being here tonight. We will see you next week, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, here on LKM Coast to Coast.
I will be watching the show.
Thank you so much, Steve. We'll talk to you soon.